Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect. My name is Ainon. The title of the video is Global News Highlights. All right. So we're in this DeepSeek app, which is an artificial intelligence. And I asked it, what is the major news worldwide in the past 24 hours? And it gave me five sections to go over, right? And basically, we're the prophets of the Lord, right? The mouthpiece of the Lord, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God. He has a name, his name is Yahweh, right? And he has men set up to prophesy the things to come, right? To prophesy to the world, all right? And we're watchmen to our nation also, right? Because we're allowing our people to know the times they're living in and to, if possible, save them, if they're elected by Yahweh, so we warn them of the things to come so they can be in the right mindset and move accordingly. And we are at the end. All right. This is the end of all things as we know it. We can see the signs. We're measuring the times, right? And everything the scripture is talking about is speaking here in these last days. Wars and rumors of wars, upwards of the peoples, earthquakes, famines, pestilence, right? And all these things are intensifying. If you've been watching and paying attention, all the way back from the 1970s, right, 1960s, these things are at a heightened, level. And basically, pursuant to prophecy, last war will be fought with Russia, any allies, and even some of America's allies joining Russia to go against Israel and America. And that's where we're at in prophecy now, right? It has just begun. The scriptures say no man knows the day nor hour, but these last few prophecies have just begun. What comes with that is a time of great trouble. All right. They call it Jacob's trouble in the scriptures because this is about the controversy of Israel. Let me Isaiah 34 real quick. Isaiah 34. All right. See, Isaiah 34 and 8, it says, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance in the year of recompenses, right, for the controversy of Zion. So the Lord is visiting this place because the Israelites will deal harshly here in this current age, right, this current world, this current rulership. The Israelites were dealt with harshly, far beyond what was supposed to be done. So the Lord is visiting this place pursuant to prophecy, and dealing. So it, like I said, it's going to be a horrible time. This is Matthew 24 and 21, right? They call it Jacob's trouble. And the scripture says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor shall it ever be. So think about that. You had many things that happened. You had the 2020 event. You had the Twin Towers event. You had many wars, right? Iraq, Afghanistan. You even have, what's happening now. But these are the beginning of sorrows. Like I said, this is the beginning stages of it. So it's going to get horrible. All right. So the only way that you can be saved is through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? And knowing his name is key. Let me see if I can get that. No other name where man shall be saved. Please Acts. This is Acts 4 and 12, okay? So I gave you the names. You call on these names. And if you're elected, these names will protect you, but also faith and works. All right. You have to have faith that these are the names and believe in the things I'm saying, which are here in the scriptures. The scripture says, if any man speak, doesn't speak of the oracles of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right. So that's pertaining to scriptures. So then you have to do works, support the ministry, however which way you can. Acts 4 and 12, it says, neither is there salvation in any other. It says, matter of fact, let me start up a little bit. Acts 4 and 10, it says, be it known unto you all and to all the people of Israel that by the name of Yahweh Shai of Nazareth, whom you crucified, whom Yahweh raised from the dead, even by him doth this man stand here before you whole. It says, this is the stone which was set at naught of you builders, which is become the head of the corner. It says, neither is there salvation in any other, but there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. Right. So of course we reach the Father Yahweh through the Son Yahweh Shai. Right. And to support the ministry, you can do anything. The elders and the apostles, you can send your types into them. You can, teach. You can make garments for the brothers. You can it's a lot of many different things that you can do. Right. The scriptures say some apostles, some teachers, right, some prophets, some helps, different things. So anyway, kind of just thought about that. But yes, there's no other name, whereby we must be saved. So calling on the names is important. Okay. Yeah, go back to where I was at. Right, so they call it Jacob's trouble, Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. See, so for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And even during that time, the elect, pursuant to Isaiah 65, will be protected. We'll have Mary, we'll have plenty of food, wine, and everything we need in those days because we put in the work and now and wanting the sheep and following, listening. Right. That's what the scriptures speak of, the 144 and the great multitude. For everybody else, there's no hope for you. If you're in Babylon the Great America is about to be totally destroyed by nuclear warfare. All right. So your best bet is to leave America. All right. So anyway, let's get into this deep seek. All right, got a lot of new stuff here. That's good. Or just highlighting some older things, kind of. Anyway, 5 points. Gaza humanitarian crisis escalates. Okay, we got aid distribution chaos. At least 4 Palestinians were killed, 2 crushed, 2 shot, as thousands rushed a UN aid warehouse in Deir al-Balah, Gaza. Right, desperate for food amid an 80-day blockade. So Israel has blocked food to come into Gaza for 80 days. Mind you, they're able to pinpoint accuracy target individuals in Iran, not to cause a total war, obviously, right now. So they're able to pinpoint accuracy target different individuals in Iran. They know exactly where their target is at. They, they did special, reconnaissance to go in there and do all of that. But at the same time, Gaza, who's literally walking distance from Benjamin Netanyahu and all his secret agents who can, put on different clothing and look like whoever they want to look like and go in there and find whoever they want to find. They don't have the power to do that. All they can do is block food and destroy everything. That's all they destroyed everything. All right. So that's something to question. It says witnesses describe scenes of starvation and violence with the World Food Program warning of spiraling humanitarian needs. At this point, Esau, who knows? Anyway, start here. It says journalists killed. Palestinian journalist Moktaz Rajab was killed in an Israeli strike, becoming the 221st media worker killed in Gaza since October 2023. Israel also has claimed to have killed Hamas commander Mohammed Sinwar in a May 13th attack that killed 28 at a hospital. It says medical siege. International doctors report being barred from entering Gaza, with U.S. surgeon Dr. Uh, Feroz testifying to the UN about treating children with bodies shattered by explosive in a dismantled medical system. All right. Just some crazy things happening, and the people are basically saying how long, they're upset. They're taking to social media, right, complaining. Major protests all over the world, protests about everything. I got a new protest in here. We're gonna talk about a little bit down further. Anyway, Isaiah 32 and 5. It says, let me grab this NLT. It says, "In that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. Scoundrels will not be respected." Yeah, this is talking about the so-called white men, right? Esau, Edom, predominantly those of the house of the Amalekites, right? These are the JOOs, most wicked, all right? These devils proclaim to be the Israelites, right? They just proclaim to be morally right, right? They shed light over the whole world, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now we're seeing that they're fucking liars, right? They're lying. They lie. Isaiah 32:5, it says, "In that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes, scoundrels will not be respected. For fools speak foolishness, right? And make evil plans. They practice ungodliness and spread false teachings about the Lord Yahweh. They deprive the hungry of food and give no water to the thirsty." So it wasn't the pink cities, the LGBTQ, right? It wasn't the kosher pig that made the people realize that these wasn't the people. It was them killing and not giving food to the hungry, and just basically not caring about nothing. It says the smooth tricks of the scoundrels are evil. They plot crooked schemes. They lie to convict the poor, and when the cause of the poor, even when the cause of the poor, hey yo, is that not what Benjamin Netanyahu has been doing for a billion years? I'm not a billion years, but this man he was a young dude saying that Iran has a bomb. Bro, this man been saying Iran has a bomb for like 50 years now. At one point he even drew a diagram of a bomb, so you can clearly see what he's talking about. It says, let me read this again. Isaiah 27. It says the smooth tricks of scoundrels are evil. This is talking about Benjamin Netanyahu, the Amalekites. It says the smooth tricks of scoundrels are evil. They plot crooked schemes. They lie to convict the poor, even when the cause of the poor is just. Yo, Iran has been struggling. That's what they were saying. The people are struggling. It's not, they kind of struggling a little bit. And they under so many sanctions, right? And then they not doing nothing. But here we go. The Amalekites, the JOOs, is lying to convict them. They got a bomb. They need to be stopped. The axis of evil. Blah 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 blah. Heard it all, right? 50 years, right? Yeah. It says, but generous people plan to do what is generous, and they stand firm in their generosity. Hey, the scriptures say, when the wicked bear rule, people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So a time is going to come when they whom they look not forward to rule shall rule. All right, and that's the Israelites, starting with Yahweh Shah, of course, okay, and our King David. Okay. So point 2, it says West Bank violence and settlement expansion. Still with Israel. Deadly raids. Israeli soldiers shot 20-year-old Jassim al-Shaddad as he slept in the West Bank, leaving him to bleed to death. This follows a surge in cellular attacks, including the burning of Palestinian homes and cars and Khor Al. All right. Yeah. So Israel. Israel is on the rampage here, and I'm talking about these fake JOOs. All right, the Amalekites, pursuant to the scriptures. Amalek. All right. Says illegal settlements. Israel approved its largest ever settlement extension, 22 new settlements violating international law. A new law also allows 12-year-olds to be sentenced to life in prison drawing UN condemnation. Hey, look in the news. Search up international law or violating international law, and see how many times that thing is popping up here in these last days. Trump is doing it. Uh, Ukraine is doing it. Israel is doing it. All of these are the key people in this World War III. And guess what they're doing? They're violating all laws. What does that mean? That means a time like never before is about to happen. You have this cruel Lord, Donald Trump, right? Ruling, not caring about nothing what the judges are saying regarding these ICE raids, right? Deporting people, freedom of speech, all type of stuff is being targeted here in these last days. So that's how we know, and we're measuring the times, which I didn't even get. We understand, we can see it clearly, and we're warning you that hey, there's not too many tomorrows left. Okay, this is point 3. U.S. Domestic and immigration policy. See, here we go. Tariffs blocked. A federal court ruled Trump's global tariffs were imposed illegally, blocking his Liberation Day levies, but spring industry-specific tariffs. Okay, so they blocked some type of tariffs of it. It's Liberation Day tariffs is blocked. All right, but he's still going to go ahead and do it. The White House plans to appeal to the court. Trump does not care. Trump does not care. That's what they're saying, but really that means we don't care about you blocking it. We still going to do what we're going to do. That's what that means in these last days. That's what we come to now understand. All right, visa crackdowns. The Trump administration will aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students. Oh, so hey, they attacked the Chinese dude over there in Ukraine. It was a Chinese reporter in Ukraine, and they attacked them, both of them. And now the Trump administration will aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students, especially those linked to the CCP or studying critical fields. Harvard was ordered to cap international admission at 15%. Yeah, so hey, Esau shutting this bitch down. All right. And revoking visas and stuff. He won't let it's less resistance as possible when he come through and roll on people with this horrible time ahead of us. Let me see what this is talking about. Okay, so I guess it says the CCP can refer to different things depending on the content. It commonly refers to Career and College Promise, a program allowing high school students to take college courses credit. Hey, yo, these Chinese is coming here and they in high school taking college courses. Which that's always been around. Okay, we got some other stuff here. Let me see. So Trump is cutting all of that. I'm gonna just go. They got a lot here. I'm gonna just say that's what it means. It makes more sense, for what we're talking about. Oh yeah, because it says especially those links to the CCP or study critical fields. So Trump don't want that anymore. Trump feels as if China has passed him, surpassed him. So they're trying to come against China. It says deportation battles. A judge ruled the deportation of Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil, all right, likely unconstitutional. What does that mean? That means against the Constitution. What does that mean? Unlawful. It's unlawful. It's what Trump is doing is going against the laws that they set up. All right, and now the world is upset about it. Hey, but like I said, Jacob's trouble. All right. Let me grab that Daniel 12. It says Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy peoples, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, that people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. See, so it's going to be a time of trouble such as was never seen. And that's what we're fastly approaching, right? All the groundwork is being laid now. ICE getting rid of most of the people they don't want here that might give them problems, and it's only just started. Anyway, so let's keep going here. Point 4, it says extinction risk. Uh, Nobel warned humanity must abandon consumerism and transition to renewable energy or face extinction, citing surpass 1.5 warning threshold. So they saying the world is getting warmer. Then in Taiwan, it says Taiwan was signal out for lagging in emission cuts. Yeah, all this is about is control. This goes back to Bill Gates saying that the cows are farting too much, and we need artificial meat, lab grown meat, bug meat. I think you do. Cotton Swab, who was the World Economic Forum, said he'll eat bugs and own nothing and be happy. So that's what they're on with this emission. So this is how they cause crap to prosper in their hands with these different laws, right? They set themselves up as, the best people in the world, and they say, listen, we don't need to do this anymore. That's why you see it here. It says Taiwan will signal out for lagging in emission cuts. So America is like, listen, Taiwan, we damn near protecting you. Are you going to listen to us or you're not going to listen to us? Your emission cuts is not high enough. Control your people and limit what they're doing. Because what does consumerism and all that mean? It says the protection of promotion of the interests of consumers. So that's what consumerism is. All right. Let me see what he's talking about right here. So I said, what does cutting emissions look like? It says reducing the release of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, primarily from human activities. So they want you isolated in a small 15-minute city, not doing too much, not traveling too far, right? Not letting out emissions out of your vehicles and all of that. They want total control, right? So it's all plans, it's all here, it's all laid out. All right. It says DRC, Rwanda peace deal, UN chief welcome a truce between the DRC and Rwanda though violence persists in eastern DRC. So, we got upward of the people, right? Nation against nation, all of that. Wars, rumors of wars, protests. Here we go right here. UN reform debates says the UN faces a liquidity crisis with debates over relocating agencies to low-cost locations and calls to address disposal staff practices. So the UN is cutting down to, so hey, look, this place is shutting down. What the hell? This place is shutting down. Let me grab this. Protest. All right. Look at this. Look at this. It says liquidity definition, the available of liquid assets to a market or a company. So UN is struggling. What type of shit is that? So now we have UN staff rally over deep cuts. So America is shutting down the whole place. That's what the scriptures say. Babylon have been the golden cup in the Lord's hand. Therefore, nations are mad. Look at this. It says carrying signs reading "We stand for humanity" and protect the protesters poured into the square in front of the UN European headquarters. We're supposed to stand for workers' rights, so this is really tough, Lena said, because they firing their own people. UN said we're supposed to stand for workers' rights, but our own staff is getting clipped. It says hundreds of UN staff rally in Geneva Thursday over deep funding cuts, especially from key donor the United States, which have led to mass layoffs and threatened life-saving services around the world. Yeah, Trump came in. This man cut off aid for Africa, all type of stuff. All right. Hey, the world is it's well, let me grab this. Let me where is that at? All right. It's locked here. I think it's right here. Let me see. I got it right here. I wrote it down. So I can- All right, so find it. Got it right here. All right, so this is Ecclesiastes 12:4. It says, "And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low." Let me just start at 3. This is Ecclesiastes. Let me start at 1. Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years of draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinding cease, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the doors of music shall be brought low." Hey, so the grinding will cease, right? No more work, right? Not many laborers, you know. All right. So people are getting laid off, and that's why Job 18 says what it says, because that's exactly what's happening. The people has always been a problem back from Moses. All right. Moses tried to help the Israelites, and they were getting them mad problems. So the people is always, Job 20, Job 20, and let's get this Job 20:20. It says, "Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly; he shall not savor that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods." It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits; every hand of the wicked shall come upon him." So every hand of the wicked is talking about the laborers, the working people. All right. It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency," right? When Esau thinks he has laid everything in control and it's all good, it says the people shall come upon him. They're gonna be all over him. Uproar, sign was signed, at the White House gates, saying what the hell is going on. All right. So we got uproars of the people. Let me grab second Esdras. It says second Esdras 9, right? Verse 1. "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part the signs past, which I've told thee before, then shalt thou understand that at the very same time wherein the highest shall begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the day that were recorded, even from the beginning." Right? And like I said, these things speak towards the end, right? It says, "For like as all that is made in the world have the beginning and an end, the end is manifest." All right. We want to grab this because we're speaking towards the end. It says, matter of fact, I'll just save it. So the last point here is global drug crisis. The UN warned of intensifying drug abuse and trafficking, urging investment in prevention and health system. Really, it's about control. If I want to know how much drugs you're taking, and all of that. That's all they really care about. They just want to control everyone. So Isaiah 46:9, it says, "Remember," 46:8, it says, "Remember this and show yourselves men, bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me." It says, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, "My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." Right. So the Lord Yahweh has, put things into motion that's going to surely come to pass. Right. The destruction of America, the destruction of Israel, the salvation of the elect of the Israelites, right, and the destruction of 2/3 of our people that don't want to hearken and listen, right, the captivity of the nations, and the setting up of the final kingdom, and that kingdom being the Israelites. All right, so Lord willing, we edify from the lesson. Shalom to those elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.